Some 26 minutes after 6, time for us to tell you what some of the newspapers are reporting today. Roland is going to take us through it, as captured by myjoyonline.com.
Okay, so we have the stories here, and okay, so the Daily Graphic has on the front page, low patronage, violence, mark elections, and you take a critical look at it. It says the district level elections took place across the country, and all in all, it registered a low turnout throughout, consistent also with the trends over the years, but also marked with some sporadic violence recorded in some communities. IMF approves $160 million for Ghana, and it's the next tranche, I believe, and Cocoa Board also repays $1 billion loan for cocoa purchases, and that's for the current crop season or the previous crop season, when a new crop season. And the Daily Guide has on the front page, low turnout in assembly election. The next story, in the race, says Mohammed's challenger, and George Boateng causing a lot of raves and waves over the last couple of days since his very announcement. But the next story talks about Stan Dogbe. He's a presidential staffer attacking a GBC reporter. It says regional executives of the Ghana Journalists Association, the GJA, are on a warpath with presidential staffer Stan Dogbe for his alleged destruction of a journalist's voice recorder. And that very journalist worked with the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and we've done a number of stories on it. Manasseh Azura, when speaking to the director for radio, as well as the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Roland Alpha Money, on Tuesday about the very incident and why the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation took no action or has decided not to take any action following that very report that their reporter really somehow was manhandled when he tried to get some information following the death of that very press corps member, Samuel Nyama, the late Samuel Nyama. Chewa's rival speaks out, and Florence Che, whose husband Daniel Osei, also known as Akwesi Bronya, got married to the popularly Kumasi-based actress Rose Mensah, also known to many of us as Chewa the Weekend, and telling the Daily Guide that she still loves her husband and will not divorce him. I don't think time,
is it a movie?
I don't think time part one.
Is it a movie?
I don't know myself.
I mean, because we wake up and Chewa is married. We see pictures of her marriage. The following day, another woman comes up and says that that's my husband that Chewa is married to. In fact, he slept home with me a day before his supposed marriage.
Wow.
And then she comes out to say that, listen, irrespective of what the man did, because the man has come back to apologize to me, I will not divorce him, I'll stick with him. Amazing.
Was it a film?
Is it like a movie? That's what me too, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go to Kumasi and find out.
I think it was a movie, I think.
We'll speak to Socrates. He would know.
Front page of the Finder, pockets of violence hit assembly elections. The next story, deportees hit 3,556 in 2014. List includes 77 stowaways. That is, they went out there, whether through the desert, through the peninsula, Mediterranean, or through the normal stowaway illegal ways that we have. They were still deported back into Ghana, and they number in excess some 3,500 people. Many, if you ask. NHIA has challenges backed. That's from the acting chief executive of the NHIA, Nathaniel Otu, has declared winners of protests against Kotoko. And apparently, well, this story is very fascinating. Hearts, they were lingering around the relegation zone of the league table, and apparently they had a number of issues concerning a match they played recently with Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They are main rivals, we all know, here in Ghana. And after going through the boardroom and putting the issue before the committee that is responsible to resolve all these disagreements, Hearts were given extra 6 points. Kotoko were deducted extra 6 points. Now they say they're going to go to court, put an injunction on the league, which has only about 2 or 3 matches to end, and then following that, they said they really needed not be deducted 6 points, but rather 3, and given an extra punishment, as stipulated by quotations they are getting from the disciplinary code of the Ghana Football Association. So we'll see how that goes and plays out. And I know Baba Tanda will be here to give us a lot.
I like my Heart of I like my Heart of Oak.
I like Kotoko too. So we'll see how that goes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
When they are in this.
Kotoko is a great team. We have the General Telegraph, President, Vice President vote in district level election. It didn't stop the low turnout of the citizenry of the electorate.
Because you didn't vote.
Yeah, because where
Michael
I live,
didn't vote.
Where I live and where
David didn't vote.
Where I live,
Fred didn't vote.
Where I live and where
Dennis didn't vote. Patricia didn't vote. All these persons I'm mentioning,
where I
my
live and where I work is
this
far
morning.
off. And I don't think that my boss was working. I can't say I'm going to vote for my assemblyman whilst I have responsibilities in the office. So I have to make a choice. Which ones has a lot more priority or have a lot more priority. President Mohammed's contender fights off Nana Konadu Tag. The Business and Financial Times has on the front page, the IMF endorses government stance on job freeze, and the International Monetary Fund has encouraged government to continue its firm stance on containing the wage bill within the budget constraints amidst a worsening employment regime and renewed pressure from labor unions. Well, all this English that the Business and Financial Times wrote is just that the IMF says, government, please continue your position of not employing a lot more people. And as a result of that, you're not going to spend a lot more on wages of workers. That's what it means. Cost-cutting measures. And the Securities and Exchange Commission must speed up regulation review. And fund managers and real estate developers, they've called for the speedy review of the Securities and Exchange Commission's limitation on how much fund managers can invest in the housing sector. Yeah, that story. That's the last story really on the front page of the Business and Financial Times. Encroachers invade Songo Salt projects. Oh, you remember that Songo? It's been a while, eh? Right. Illegal miners or salt winners have taken over the 42,000-acre government-acquired Songo Salt project site, restricting the Songo Salt mines to 3% of the acquired land. I don't get it. If it's for government, what the hell is somebody doing there? And if somebody is there, government has all the powers to make sure that the encroachers really are evicted. This is not worth a report even. Who's supposed to be responsible, if you ask me?
For votes. Okay, I didn't just say that. I'm taking you back to myjoyonline.com, this time to look at this story. Tariff hike is to prepare ECG for privatization, apparently. The ECG is using the ongoing public consultation as a smoke screen to facilitate the privatization of the utility service provider. That's according to Dr. Steve Mantel.
Meaning what? They are testing the waters, whether we will accept the increase in tariffs?
Yeah, but already you know that 2 regions have rejected.
Which regions are
the Ashanti region and I think the Central region, if I'm not mistaken. But people are more angry really with the ECG. I mean, we're
just
not
because of the
power.
inconsistencies in power supply.
Exactly.
I think it would be very much unfair if they have to do the increment 100% and not be very good at the quality of service that they offer. And
for me, don't do 1 week, don't do 2 weeks. Do like consistency for some 2 months or 3 months. Then we can take you serious ECG. If only the PURC is on our side, remember? Let me take you to CTFM Online. Let's check out the story. NPP MPs have stopped giving us money. That's according to the chairman of the NPP, Paul Afoko. The national chairman of the opposition New Patriotic Party says the party's members of parliament have stopped providing financial support for the running of the party's activities. According to a statement issued on Tuesday, the monthly financial support from its members of parliament ceased in February 2015. The statement, however, failed to explain why the monthly financial support from the MPs has stopped. The pronouncement is fueling reports that the opposition party seems to be facing some financial difficulties, compelling the party's chairman to express his frustration in the statement signed by his spokesperson,
the statement was put in the public domain?
Yeah.
But I thought this is an internal matter they need to deal with.
Well, unless, I mean, maybe if you continue to read, they didn't say it's a leaked, they said statement.
So far I'm not getting a hint like that. That's why, well.
Okay, well, but we'll have Mr. Jacko in the studio. You
ask him why. Why
has he stopped contributing to
Why have you stopped contributing? And why do you have to compel your national chairman now to go public with your reluctance to contribute?
Exactly. Good
You're not
question.
helping. You're not helping.
You're a smart guy.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am.
All right, let me take you
Not
to
too smart, though.
the Ghana News Agency website and check out the story. Drama unfolded at an Accra Circuit Court when Richard Kwachi, a footballer who was to open his defense in a robbery, in the robbery case, decided to confess to the crime. Does this sound familiar? Well, Kwachi is 19. He told the court that he went to the complainant's room and decided to attack her with a machete and rob her of her money and other items. Now, when the court presided over by Mr.
Is he a professional footballer?
Tando, well, they just said footballer. Abuaje Tando asked Kwachi, is the name familiar?
No.
Okay.
Whether
Whether he had concluded his evidence.
Footballers will not go and use machetes to steal.
He replied in the affirmative. So Kwachi answering questions on the cross-examination by prosecuting Deputy Superintendent of Police, Kweku Bempa, said he changed his plea because after a sober reflection, he has decided to admit the offense. Amazing. You can continue to read the details and check out how he was sentenced. But remember I mentioned that President Muhammadu Buhari is 100 days in office, and some people said he had made a couple of promises. They're holding him to it. Now, this is what President Buhari is saying. He says that he never made any 100 days in office promises. So, Don't
worry. That's what the media is there for. If you had clips and write-ups, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't worry. They'll play it back to him.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll see if there's anything
like that. Sometimes when you're in government, it's difficult to take some decisions. Unlike if you're on the other side, you talk a lot.
Yeah.
And we've seen it since 1993, haven't we, in Ghana?
But President Buhari is a consistent man, isn't he? So if he says he didn't, then I would believe him that he didn't.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay, anyway, he has a lot more of his integrity intact than many of the topmost politicians in Africa.
Thank you.
I guess that consistency also will translate in him not having appointed ministers yet.
Well, he is still. I mean, he's trying to. I don't know how careful he could be. He's releasing lists, I think, every now and then.
One of the things I hear, according to what the social media speculates, is that he's finding it very difficult to get somebody who has a good credibility in the political class. So that's why he can't put together a great team.
He should have done that whilst campaigning on the side.
All of them are all tainted, according to the social media speculations.
Amazing. Let me do this last story. I'm picking from the Africa page, bbc.com. This is very sad indeed. And I'm showing you some pictures.
Is he dead?
Some Africans would do. I don't know. I mean, how can you hide in a car engine just to escape your country? Spain finds Guinea migrants hidden behind car engine. And check out, look at him. The engine, I mean, that's a dangerous place to be.
Do you know they were
honestly? Yeah, I'll show you the other picture. And, when they are writing the story, they always say a West African migrants. Oh. So he entered the Spanish territory from Morocco, curled up next to a car engine, and another was hidden behind the back seat of the Mercedes 300 car. And I'll show you, this is the engine guy, and it shows you how small the engine is, really. And then we'll go down and we'll look at the guy who was behind the car seat. Check him out. I mean, how do you breathe? How do you even eat?
How do they get caught? They use sensors? I'm not sure if I was a border patrol person, I would have been able to know that they were there. But
so the two of them did not have any papers and were identified in a statement only as TD and AB from Guinea Conakry. They are also under official investigation now. They will make up the number if this was Ghana of that 3,000 blah, 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 blah who've been deported. I mean, so this one, if you told everybody that you were traveling, you were going to Spain, and you were found out like this, you were deported.
What happens is that many of these people pass through the deserts. They passed through the desert and went through the Mediterranean, right through the sea to Spain. Yeah, it's easier that way.
Yeah. Okay, so check this out. Last month, a Moroccan man suffocated to death in a suitcase after his brother tried to smuggle him to mainland Spain aboard a ferry from Melilla. In a suitcase. I thought it was only in the movies.